The efforts to suppress the old rite cry out for reparation and witness from the faithful who love the traditional Latin Mass. That is why it is so crucial that the response from the laity be fervent, respectful, and traditional. And our response has reverberated throughout the globe. To our shock, in 2021, the Diocese of Arlington and Archdiocese of Washington imposed drastic Latin Mass restrictions in 2022. Before that, these dioceses had demonstrated precisely how Summorum Pontificum, allowing the traditional Latin Mass, injected life and energy into the Catholic Church. It was regularly celebrated in nearly 30 parishes across the two dioceses. No one thought it could be restricted, but now the laity have made their voices heard. Since then, we have organized 2 beautiful Marian processions, and now we've just completed our 3rd. Thank you all for walking in the heat and all of that. It was amazing, and it was very hot, and we thank you all so much. This plan is for this to be an annual event as long as it's needed. The stakes could not be higher. Bishops all over the world are watching to see whether we will accept these restrictions as the new normal, and we will not. Our response in Washington, D.C. and Arlington has already made an impact, generating a lot of press coverage and a lot of awareness for our issues, of the unjust nature of the restrictions and the enduring power and beauty of traditional and Catholicism. I stood here a year ago and said we will channel our energy and passion for the church into positive endeavors, and we have done that. We have fulfilled the mission of maintaining and spreading that great evangelizing force, traditional Catholicism, in establishing the Arlington Latin Mass Society, our 501c3, sponsoring many great events and speeches, which many of y'all have been to. We have many more coming up. We are going to keep growing and building. We want to thank especially our priests throughout these 2 dioceses who have gone above and beyond in caring for us, who are attached to the traditional Latin Mass, scheduling extra masses and vespers, and ensuring that the TLM community is well taken care of. Pope Francis has said, whenever any minority is persecuted and marginalized because of its religious convictions, the well-being of society as a whole is endangered, and each one of us must feel affected. Lay people are part of the faithful, holy people of God, he has said, and are the protagonists of the church and the world. We are called to serve them, not to be served by them. The message sent by these restrictions is one of marginalization, and it is of great importance for the universal church and society as a whole that they go away and that they be lifted soon, immediately. The message sent is that these Latin Mass is less important than literally any other parish activity, that it can't be spoken of in the parish bulletins, and that we can be forced out of parish churches and marginalized. This sets a terrible precedent for any group within the church. True unity demands that there be a place for us within the Catholic Church, the universal church, not just to celebrate Mass in fear and squalor, but to experience and share the traditional Latin Mass in its full glory and dignity as befits the sacrifice of our Lord Jesus Christ and the saving power of the Eucharist in parish churches. What earlier generations held as sacred remains sacred and great for us too, and cannot be all of a sudden forbidden or even considered harmful. As Pope Benedict said, it was important for me that the church is one with herself inwardly, with her own past, and that what was previously holy to her is not somehow wrong now. If the earlier form of the liturgy can be altogether prohibited, then any part of the church can change radically, and we know that that can't happen. The deposit of faith must be maintained unchanging. Therefore, we cannot grow complacent. The TLM has sustained the church for thousands of years, and it will be alive and thriving after we are all long dead. We must guard and defend this treasure of the church, the traditional Latin Mass, not only to pass it down to our own children and grandchildren, but also so that it can continue to serve as a powerful tool of evangelization for the entire church. Beauty, as much as truth and the good, leads us to God, the first truth, the supreme truth, and beauty itself. Now more than ever, we must hold firm to the traditions that have been handed down to us, and in particular, the beauty and timelessness of the traditional Latin Mass. I want to thank you guys so much for coming with us, for journeying with us, for your support, for your prayers, and for all of that. Thank you so much.